Welcome back to our channel, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we post our newest videos. We are on a long 3-week trip to Armenia, and this morning we got up bright and early to visit Garni. This town has an ancient history and is known for the Hellenistic Garni Temple. The area has been inhabited since the 3rd century BC. The first stop on this amazing area is the Garni Gorge, more commonly known as the Symphony of the Stones. These basalt columns are an amazing sight, and I was excited to see them up close. On our other visits to Garni Temple, we could see them from afar, but never ventured down into the gorge. The road down to the stones has always been a bit bumpy, but when we visited it was under construction and was very difficult to drive, but we finally made it. This amazing natural phenomenon was a spectacular sight to behold. These stones stretched about 50 to 100 meters high and were formed by the freezing of lava. Much of the country of Armenia has hints from its volcanic and turbulent past. The Azat River flows through the bottom of the gorge and made the sounds around us relaxing and adding to the feelings of awe.
Good water.
Yeah. It's cold, huh?
We stayed for a bit down near the river to explore and fill our jugs of water. There is water everywhere, and it bubbles out of the ground crystal clear and very cold. Very nice on a hot summer's day.
Pass out.
So this area is called the Symphony of the Stones. It's so neat. All the rock formations are just amazing. Really, really cool. And right above here you can see Garni Temple. From Garni you can actually see the Symphony of the Stones from far away. So this is the first time that we've gotten to come here and actually see it in person. So cool.
Our next stop was Garni Temple. This temple is the only Greco-Roman style architectural example left in Armenia and the former Soviet Union. Although there is lots of mystery surrounding this building, it is truly a gift that visitors are still able to walk across the beautiful grounds. The temple was most likely built in the 1st century AD to honor the sun god Mihr. Some argue that it was a tomb, and that's the only reason it was not destroyed during the religious cleansing after Armenia adopted Christianity. In 1679, an earthquake with the epicenter in the Garni Gorge destroyed the temple, and it was finally rebuilt between 1969 and 1975. On the grounds of the temple is also an ancient Roman bathhouse, and the temple was converted into a summer residence for the queen after Christianity was adopted.
This is Garni Temple. It is the oldest pagan temple in this area in Armenia, and we come here every time, but it's just as amazing every single time we come here. This weather is fantastic today, so I just absolutely love it.
But it was our first time coming here, so it's
Yes.
extra amazing.
Yes, it's y'all's first time getting to come here. They're gonna sacrifice Daddy on the stone. You ready? It's the running joke that Daddy is getting fattened up to slaughter here at Garni Temple on the stone. Spectacular. Time to sacrifice you. I'm up on the stone.
No.
I'm up there.
You can first.
Time to chop your head off. Glamorous. Go hard.
Little baby. Good baby.
Saggy.
Take it back.
Hello. Get closer.
Get closer.
It's a good water. Very cold. It's one of my favorite parts about Armenia. Everywhere you go, there's water. You can have fountains of cold, ice cold water wherever, anywhere.
Even next to fountains, there's water fountains.
I know, isn't that funny? Water everywhere. You can drink for free.
Below.
Any opportunity for Gohar's dad to buy them sweets. He's like, have more Fanta soda, have more ice cream, it's fine. That way they'll like me the best. What are you saying?
Thank you.
No, tell him. Merci.
Oh,
No hagalitzum.
do you want ice cream?
Oh no, that's okay. Hello. Girls, what did you get?
I was the first one that Macy. That's when I make Macy watch it. I'm gonna say.
Well, I ate it a lot when I was in the United States.
What is it?
Every night.
Ice cream.
We did.
Dad.
You had cookies and cream.
Cream ice cream with dad. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't need more ice cream.
Exactly. On
I had too
Friday.
much ice cream when I was
Is it on
Macy.
Fridays we go to Dairy Queen? Me and all three? Yeah.
Now we're headed to a lavash class. We're gonna learn how to make some good Armenian lavash.
Lavash is a type of unleavened bread that is a staple in every meal in Armenia. The American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language says, lavash is a thin, unleavened flatbread of Armenian origin. In 2014, lavash was described by the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity as an expression of Armenian culture. The dough is traditionally made in a pit in the ground with coals to create a type of oven called a tandir. The dough, made of flour, salt, water, and sometimes yeast and sugar, is rolled out to be very thin and placed on a pillow to press into the wall of the oven. Once the bread begins to bubble and finishes cooking, it is stacked up waiting to be consumed. There are so many ways this versatile bread is used in Armenian meals, and we probably ate it more than anything else during our time in the country. When the bread sits and cools, it begins to harden and can turn into a cracker type texture, but later can be rehydrated with a sprinkle of water. Traditionally, the women were the ones to make this bread, and it was a ritual performed at the rising of the sun. The fire was made and prayers were said before the cooking commenced. At this beautiful restaurant near Garni, we were able to dive into making the bread ourselves. We quickly found out how difficult it was, and the women making it clearly had some type of divine advantage over us. It was really fun to get to be a part of this ancient tradition. Another traditional Armenian bread we were able to make was called gata. This is a sweet bread that is often seen at roadside stands with elaborate designs. I know this is something I've been dreaming about eating since our last trip in 2019, where we purchased a big one from Gerard Monastery. Depending on the region, the types of gata can be very different in texture and flavor. Some types of gata are closer to a laminated butter dough, such as a frit croissant, and others are more of a yeast bread stuffed with a sugar mixture. The origins of this sweet bread are unknown, but many attribute it to a bread made during the times where Christians worshipped secretly inside the caves that later became Gerard Monastery. When Christianity became the national religion of Armenia and they were allowed to worship freely, a sweetness was added to the bread to represent the sweetness of liberty and freedom. This building is really cool. It is the Museum of Ancient Armenian Manuscripts, and it's dedicated to the person that created the Armenian language. So it really has a nice view too. We ended the day at this amazing museum and learned so much about the history of Armenian language and culture. As you can see, the building itself is fabulous and really beautiful on the inside and out. Film and photography are pretty limited within this museum, so I was able to get a bit, but not too much of an extensive tour, so you'll just have to go check it out yourself. Among the most significant manuscripts of this museum are the Lazarian Gospels from the 9th century, in the Echmiadzin Gospel from the 10th century. The first so called because it was brought from the Lazarian Institute is from 887. That is just mind-blowing to see how old these amazing things are. And its oldest complete volumes that are located in this museum. The Echmiadzin Gospel is dated from 989, has a 6th century, probably Byzantine, carved ivory cover, and it was so beautiful to see it in person. I think that this place was spectacular to see. They also had an English translator, so that was really helpful. I would recommend getting a guide because a lot of these texts and things to look at, you might not know exactly what you are looking at if you just walked in all on your own. Thank you so much for watching our adventures today in Armenia. It's hard to believe that we are only on our 3rd day, but have done so much. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell.